So let's head over to the project screen. In the left-hand navigation bar, it's this file folder icon. The project screen is where you will create the buckets in which you will work. For any theater company or producing organization, this usually is the shows themselves. However, you can also create projects to collect things that don't belong to any one show, such as maintenance or marketing. Creating a project is the first objective in Propared and is required to do most anything else. So for now, we're going to go ahead and create a project that is one of our upcoming shows. So in the upper right-hand navigation, we'll go to the New Project button. For now, we'll create a blank project. You can also create a project by cloning an existing project, but we'll look at that more later. Similarly to creating a new contact, the project name is the only required field. And after you give your project a name, Propared will automatically create it. So let's create the Lion Queen. Moving down the detail panel, you can provide a short name for your project. This short name will be used in a few places in Propared in place of the full project name. If you don't want a short name, you can leave it blank, and Propared will use the full project name instead. You can give a project a color, which will help differentiate between your projects in your calendars. Select this orangey color. Next is start and end dates. This is a set of dates that you can use to sort your projects in the project screen and to give yourself a starting point in your timeline. Think about this as if you were going to put the dates up on a calendar, like on the wall. What would you want to see? I'm going to use the first date of performances and the last date of performances. You are not constrained by these dates in any way. You can also leave it blank and fill it in later. If you have administrator access type, you can provide access to project managers that you want to edit alongside of you straight from the project screen. Access is also managed in the access screen, which we'll get into in a later video. Note the number of project managers you can add is dictated by your organization's subscription. Once you add the person you wish to provide project manager access to, they will receive an email from Propared to either start an account or sign in with an existing account to see this new project. Next, under additional details, are categories. Categories in the project screen are tags that you can use to break up your shows into different types, such as staged readings, main company, or event types. You will be able to filter by these in the categories dropdown as well. For me, I'm going to call this the fall series. And you can see here in the categories, the fall series can be filtered. Next is a spot for some internal details and a place to select the time zone for this project. It will default to the time zone for the portfolio that is set up over in the settings screen, and we'll look at that more later as well. Lastly, you'll see the state dropdown. This includes active and draft project types. So active projects are the projects you're currently working on and sharing externally. Draft projects let you edit a project in Propared without sharing it externally. Draft projects are also great for post-production when you're still putting a project to bed, but you no longer need to share it with anyone else. So if you do want to delete a project, you first must archive it. This is because deleting a project also deletes everything associated with it and is permanent. So we really wanted to make sure you really meant it. You'll want to archive projects when they're finished and then put to bed. Archived projects do not show up anywhere else in Propared and are no longer available for sharing externally. However, you can always unarchive a project at any time. To archive a project, simply select the checkbox next to the project and click the Archive button in the Action menu. When you archive a project, it's removed from the Actives tab and put into the Archives. From here, if you want to delete a project, you can click the checkbox and then select Delete from the More menu. I'm going to unarchive this project. And when I unarchive it, it's going to move it back into the Actives folder as a draft, assuming I wouldn't automatically want to share it externally. So we've made our first project. Let's swap this back over to Active and create a new one. Now it's time to go into a project. One way is to use the Go To menu on the right-hand side. The team, timeline, attachments, and production books are also available directly here from the main navigation bar.